So this video is going to be for SketchUp Assignment 1. Now the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the wall of your SB page for this class. Now to open your assignment, I don't know if this is how Mr. LePain did it, but what you want to do is you're going to go over top of SketchUp Assignment 1, click on it. And for you guys, it's going to look a little different than mine. But basically, you're going to see two files. Now currently, there's only one. So there's the PDF file, but you're going to see the PDF and the video file. You're not seeing the video file because, well, I'm making it right now. So if you want to go step by step through the PDF file, you're going to click on it. Otherwise, if you want to open the video file and watch it, pause it, go step by step, that's up to you. But for this tutorial, I'm going to use the PDF file. So I'm going to click on the PDF file. It's going to show up either here, or you might have a window where you have to download it. So depending on your system and the configuration, it could vary. So if you scroll down to the instructions, it gives you step by step. Some people are visual learners in terms of reading, other people are visual learners in terms of watching a movie. So it's just going to depend on your learning style. So it says start with a rectangle. Now rectangle is bold. Bold represents a command in SketchUp. Same with push-pull. So we're going to start with a box. So I'm going to go over to SketchUp. Now this is my SketchUp. This is the SketchUp that you're going to see if you download it from the library. Now on the right-hand side, if you want to see that, you're going to go to Window and Default Tray, and you're going to activate the tray, and you're going to put check marks on all the different aspects of the drawing that you want to see. We're not going to need those quite yet, but just in case you're wondering what's going on over the right-hand side. Now this gentleman, he's going to be part of this version of SketchUp, so we're not going to need him, although in future drawings we're going to need him, so let's erase. Now it says start with the rectangle and push and pull up the box. Now for this particular drawing, we're not going to be assigning actual measurements to the drawing. But I would caution you. Now I'm going to start at origin. You can start anywhere you want. But I'm going to start at origin, and you're going to click the left button on your mouse. You're just going to click it. Do not hold. So click once. Drag it out. Now if you look at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you're going to see dimensions. And that basically says it's 8 foot, 10 inch, and 15/16 of an inch by 14 feet 5 inches. Now for architecture, everything is going to be in feet and inches. Now I realize that most of you have grown up in the metric system and you see things in centimeters and meters. Unfortunately, architecture, the building of homes, and sometimes in the engineering industry, we're dictated by the American system. For example, if you were to go to Home Depot or Lowe's and buy some wood, it's always going to be in feet and inches. So we're going to drag this out like just to a random size. Now click once, and now you've got yourself a rectangle. Some people might already be thinking, well, what if I want to assign it an actual size? What do I do? Or hey, what if you did something and you're like, I don't like it? Just go up to Edit, undo Rectangle. So what we're going to do, for the assignment, the sizes are random. I'm not checking sizes. But if you wanted to give it an actual size, you'd go 9 feet. Look in the bottom right-hand side of your screen. If you don't see those numbers, go up to the top right-hand side and click the middle icon to maximize your screen, okay? So let's say we're going to go 9 feet, comma, space, and let's go 15 feet. Now, feet is apostrophe. That's the button located right next to the enter. And we'll go enter. Now, if you're not sure if it's correct, grab our tape measure. Click once. Stop there. That's 15 feet. And that's 9 feet. Perfect. Now it says push-pull it up to basically any random size. Now since I'm just mentioning how to assign particular measurements to your drawing, let's say we're going to move it up 7 feet. 7 feet in the bottom right hand corner. Enter. Perfect. So now we've got ourselves a rectangle. Now, before I get ahead of myself, I just want to kind of caution you, don't get too crazy with the random sizes, because this particular box is relatively small. It's kind of more or less the size of a shed. If you were to randomly pull it out to some obscene size, you might end up at a later point in this exercise with some difficulty, and I'll address that when I get to it. We're going to use some texture, and it might cause some problems. So I'll touch base on that when we get to that particular aspect of the assignment. So let's go back to our Chrome. I like to use Chrome. I find it works a lot better. So we're going to use a line through the midpoint. So let's pull out our pencil, click on our pencil, drag it along there. Oh, hey, midpoint. Thank you, SketchUp. Drag it along. Oh, thank you, SketchUp. Okay, so we're going to use the move. If you're not sure what any of these do, I'm not that familiar with the online version, but this version is really good. If you're not sure what something does, just kind of hover over it, boom, move, and it gives you an explanation. Oh, it moves, it stretches, it copies, it erases. Perfect. Click. Let's just click once with the left button on your mouse. Don't hold it down. Click. Bring it up. Click. Perfect. Now, some people end up with some issues here. So I'm going to undo this. Some people, for whatever reason, end up clicking on this, and this line goes left and right, doesn't come up. And they can't get past that. So to avoid, if that were to be you, to avoid having to redo the whole thing and go through that whole ordeal, what I would suggest you do is you can go straight up, click, click. I would erase this line. You don't need it. Let's use push and pull, which is push and pull face entities to sculpt 3D models. Click once. Now, I would bring it over. Now, instead of kind of like, whoop, whoop, let's try and get it. We want to stop it at this line. So let's just touch the line right there on the model. So we're telling SketchUp that's where I want to stop. Click. We've got our roof. So let's scroll down, and it wants us to create a door, and it wants us to create an arc over top of that door. Okay, we can do that. So it wants us to use a rectangle, and it wants us to use arc. Arc is bold, so it's a command. Oh, there's the arc. So it's got a drop-down menu. 2-point arc tends to be the default. Now, in the event it's not, click on 2-point arc, go click, click, go out here, and then whatever you want, you can kind of, oh, there's half circle. If you want half circle, great. You don't have to have half circle. Just don't do this. Kind of, boom, there we go. According to the instructions, so as we scroll down, they want you to erase that line. They also want you to erase the surface of this door. And that's to kind of give you an idea of what to do with blank spaces. We're going to address that at a later time in this particular exercise. So they want a rectangle on the side, and they also want a random shape. Okay, so let's go up here, orbit. We're going to click on that, and that's going to allow us to move this object, okay, in a three-dimensional fashion. We're going to put the windows on this side, okay. Now please keep in mind this exercise, just do what the instructions say. Don't add things to it. I don't want rocket ships and garages and Lambos in the backyard. Let's just do step by step what they want us to do. So they want a rectangle. Let's put in a rectangle. Now see how this is kind of coming out like this? You got to be careful. You want to make sure that you're on the surface of this actual object. Now if you're having difficulty doing that, you might want to change your perspective. Okay, so let's kind of go like so. Now it says on face. On face means it's touching that surface. Out here, not on face. That is on face, okay? Now they want a random object. Click, click, on face, on face, on face. on face. Okay, now I would suggest to you at this point, especially for this random size window, grab your orbit tool and move it. Because sometimes this random shape, it might end up with a line coming out here. And then it presents a lot of difficulty. We go to fill this in with some later steps, which you're going to see in a sec, and it doesn't quite work. And unless you move it, you're not going to see why. Okay. So as we go down here, they want you to go to the paint bucket, open up the materials, and we're going to do some roofing. Okay. So we're going to go up here to the paint bucket. Okay. Now paint bucket. If you don't see materials on the right-hand side, click on Window, Default Tray, check Materials, okay? So we're going to go Materials, let's go drop-down menu, and let's go down to Roofing. You can use any type of roofing, okay? I'm not giving you, plus or minus for the type of roofing that you do. So we've got our roofing texture on there, just like the instructions want. Now they want some exterior texture, bricks and cladding folder. So let's go to that inside the paint can. Let's go drop down menu, bricks and cladding. You can use any texture you want. It's not really relevant to your mark. Please texture the entire house. That is a relevant aspect of the mark. That'll fall under the completeness category. Okay, so let's scroll down. Now for windows, we're going to use the translucent folder. I need to kind of revise that. I'll show you in a sec. Translucent was a tagline that they used in an earlier version of SketchUp, and it's since been changed. So they want us to use green, yellow. Actually, just use any color you want. And we're going to make a series of panes in here, vertical lines, and we're going to make multicolors, okay? So let's go back over to our folder, or our SketchUp, and we're going to go to glass and mirrors, okay? Translucent is no longer used as a term, okay? It's since been changed. So let's go green and yellow, just like they wanted. If you don't go green and yellow, you're not going to lose marks. But you are going to have to put in some lines. Okay. I like to make things easy. I like just go midpoint, midpoint. Oh, there's the new midpoint. Bam, there you go. Just make a series of different colors using this translucent. There you go. Perfect. And you're probably like, why am I doing this? It's just to kind of show that you know that there's different types of translucent or glass available, okay? So we're going to go over here. We're going to scroll down. Now, they want you to use a line to fill this in, okay? Because as we get going, you're going to have to fill stuff in. You're going to use pencil. You can basically go anywhere here, and it fills that in. Now you're going to have to get rid of that line because you don't need it. Scroll down. We're going to have to create a circle for a window, and then we're going to give a wooden texture to the door. Okay, so let's go here. Scroll down to our circle. Click. Make a circle. Now, if your circle's off, don't worry, you're not going to lose marks. Okay, don't get fixated on, oh my God, it's not perfectly centered. That's not going to be an issue. Okay, so we're going to scroll down here. We're going to go wood. Pick any wood you want. It doesn't matter. You don't need a door handle. Although if you're, really fixated on perfection, you can make a door handle. It's not part of the instructions. It'd be the only extra part I would say that you go ahead, do it. Once again, don't put extra stuff, Lamborghinis and whatever. Okay, so this here is referring to a toolbar that unless we activate it, you're not going to see. So they want you to use 3D text. Likely the version that you're going to see, or at least the available options. Go up to Tools and come down here to 3D text. And you're going to enter my house, like your name, Jeff, John, Becky, Mohammed, whatever your name is. Just don't give it some bizarre name like, Jeff Smoke Shack or something, okay? Okay. You're going to go like so. You're going to place. Let's put it above. Now, this is where if you used like a random size that's very large, I touched on this and I'm going to address it right now. If you went to put these letters on and it was so crazy small, or even if you looked at your roofing and your, in this case, bricks, if the bricks and the roofing, all you see is color, you don't see the texture, I can almost guarantee you if you were to grab your tape measure, and this has happened in class, in school, we're talking pre-COVID-19 quarantine, where someone actually says, hey sir, I'm having a problem. I come over, grab the tape measure, I go from here to here, and in this case it's 15 feet, which is a relatively nominal number. It's pretty normal. The average person's like 5 feet 8, so it's a little under three people long. But for the people that can only see color, they don't see texture, I use this tape measure, and it's like 30,000 feet long. Okay, so I'm just trying to say, this is where I'm touching on why don't get too excessive with the random size. So this is all that you need to do for exercise 1. Then go File. You're going to go Save As. The default location is going to be My Documents. If you're so inclined, you can create a special folder. You don't have to call it Assignment 1. I mean, it probably helps with you in terms of finding your files if you call it, SketchUp Assignment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, kind of so it coincides with the name that I give you. But it's not going to affect how I see it, okay? So that's it for this video. I hope it was helpful. If you need any additional information, or even if you need an additional video clip for certain things, let me know via Edsby.